Hey everyone, welcome. Let's just do a quick energy check and check our inner world, make sure we're in balance and in alignment. There's a lot of chaos going out there. It can pull you either way, and the energy is very strong. So we got to remind ourselves to take a step back, realign if we need to, rebalance, refocus, get in our higher perspective, and then continue. Let's close our eyes. Look at your breath. How does it feel? Breathe in and out. If it feels chaotic, hectic, heavy, rushed, overwhelmed, you gotta lighten that up. Just breathe in and out, and you'll lighten it up with your breath. And if you need to go do cardio and exercise, go ahead and do that too. There's a lot going on. Breathe in and out. Just reset. Don't make it hard. Just make it nice and simple. There's a lot going on in the world and in our own lives. That's why we want to make sure we tune in and try to focus on ourselves, master ourselves, and show up. We don't want to be out there or even with our family members and in our household arguing, anger, sadness. We don't want to be spewing out emotions that don't feel good onto others. We want to check ourselves, transmute it, express it in healthy ways, and do the work it needs to be done to transmute the energy within your body and to raise and see things from your higher perspective. And it's hard. When you break illusions, it's painful. It doesn't feel good, it hurts. I don't wish darkness on anybody, but it teaches you a lot of lessons. So even if you feel heavy or you're getting caught up in energy that's chaotic, it's all right. Just pull back, relax. There's really great ways to express yourself in a healthy way. Humans have emotions and we do react, whether it's, chaos in our house or stressful or, just an obstacle that we're going through or just the world, work in general. We want to not let it control the way that we're thinking and feeling because we're strong in here and we are connected and we are aligned and balanced. And we don't want to get out of order by getting sucked up in that energy because it is heavy. It's strong and chaotic. And sometimes you get pulled in and you won't get out. Or you'll get pulled into it a long time and it'll mess up your system. Those energies, those feelings of stress, overwhelmed, anger, sadness, any of those feelings, they don't feel good in your body and they will make you sick over time. Or even in the current moment, they could give you anxiety. They can start messing with your nervous system. They give you headaches. You get a lot of pressure in your head. You just get your whole body messed up if you're absorbing those heavy emotions, those chaos emotions. Or you're just reacting in a stressful way and you're overwhelmed because maybe you're out of balance and you need to take a step back in life. You're just doing way too much. As you breathe, and remember, you can stop breathing whenever you need to and just kind of sit there, relax your body, and just sit in stillness as you listen. Because we're just going over these messages, and I give you different things every time we do these sessions so that you can grow and evolve and get better each time and just get new wisdom because it's fun and look at things better and more creative, so that we can keep our energy light and not be so critical in ourselves and others. We don't want to judge others. And we don't want to judge ourselves. Everybody's playing a role, including you. But you Your only concern is the way you're thinking and feeling, the way that you're showing up. And if you're controlling that, you don't have anything to worry. Yes, you can send out compassion, love, and light to others that need it. Yes, you can do that to yourself in an obstacle, and it'll go a lot smoother and easier and light. We want to make sure we're spreading light energy, because the darkness cannot sustain in the light. It dissolves. We don't have to fight it. It just naturally dissipates. Okay? It just naturally dissipates. Yes, sometimes even in my own obstacles or in the world, I can feel myself get pulled a little, and then I gotta pull myself back. I gotta refocus. I want to always stick up for the light and protect people. And, sometimes you just need to say one thing and just leave it. I also am conscious of when I need to rebalance, or when I'm starting to feel off, and I'm just throwing myself off from my obstacles. I have a lot of things that I'm trying to accomplish in my life. And when you accomplish your dreams, you have obstacles. It's normal. But the obstacles you get through, we remind ourselves that. And, my number one goal in life in general is just to keep leveling up and being better. Just to be a better version of myself. If I react one way and it wasn't the best version, I'll try to show up better the next day. But we always want to remember to stay in light energy and compassion for ourselves and others. Even the people that we think are playing bad roles, or if that's your opinion, and you think that their roles are, they're bad people, or that they're rough people at work to deal with, or your family, or whatever, that's okay. Send them light and love. Don't react how they react. Don't be how everybody else is. Be light and love. Because then that actually dissolves their darkness and helps them. Because being in the dark and learning those lessons on those levels, it's very difficult. So we just want to make sure that we're showing up and we're balanced, because it's a lot going on in our life. And as we upgrade, we got to deal with purging our emotions and making sure that we are showing up and we've learned the lessons. So if the universe is throwing us tests, are you showing up as your balanced self? Are you showing up using discernment if that energy is good or bad for you? Are you surrounding yourself with healthy, aligned people? People that are uplifting. People that are encouraging. People that love one another. We love everybody, even our enemies. Well, why? Why would we love them? Because they upgrade us. Why wouldn't we? I don't want to play that role, and I'm really thankful that they did, because if they didn't play that role, I wouldn't have got my upgrade and level up. I understand everybody's got their own destiny. They got their own roles, and they have their own life. They have free will, and they're choosing their lessons in their life and what they do and what they don't. That's their lane. I can barely keep up with myself, let alone trying to show up in everybody else's lane. So I just remind myself to pull back, stay in my own lane. When we need to spread seeds of light, we do it in the lightest way as possible, in compassion to ourselves and to others. Don't be hard on yourself. Like, if you show up in a rough way, show up better the next day. Who cares? You're human. You don't have to be perfect. No one expects you to be perfect. So just breathe out that heaviness and give yourself a lot of love, because we're on love vibes. And that's the point in the message, is true, unconditional love to yourself and others. And when you're on the highest frequency, you're healthy, you're balanced, you're aligned, you're living your best life, you're not getting sick. So if anybody's telling you have these opinions and these beliefs that feel off, that feel heavy, that are not uplifting, and they're preaching compassion and love. It's probably two different things. If you don't align with people, keep them out of your energy. For me personally, I'm very sensitive. I do not have people that if they're off even for a second, it's out. It's out for me. I don't mess around. And it's not personal. It's because I'm very sensitive, and it's very hard to keep on a high vibrational level, let alone having the lower vibrations coming in on you. And even if they're good people, I'm not saying that they're bad people, but if they're still on a lower frequency than me and they're not on my mindset, I can't be around them because they're japping out my frequency. I can feel them. Even if I don't talk to people, I can feel people all over. So I'm very sensitive to energy, and you might be too. That's what we're learning through these upgrades and through these lessons that we're going through. But most importantly, we always got to be checking on how do we feel inside? Is this energy making us feel good, or do we need to step back? Okay? Are we showing up the way we should, or do we need to go do some work? Always focus and say, hey, how am I showing up? And then you can show up for others. Okay? The darkness is rough, and it's rough to stand in your light out there, and it's okay. But you can still do that from home and being alone. People can still feel that vibration and that energy. Okay? And most of all, we just want to be in the highest vibration and tuned into that frequency, because we feel light, and our goal is to feel light. Because when you feel light, you're bebopping through life, and you're healthy, and you feel really amazing. Okay? There's a lot of sicknesses going around. You don't want to catch those sicknesses, and you can't because you're high vibrational. It doesn't even matter. We don't live in fear. You know why? Because we're aligned and we're connected. And if anything's off, we know how to get back in alignment. We know how to heal ourselves in here. We know how to show up. Because we're walking the walk in here. Doesn't that feel good? So when we do our meditation sessions, it's a big deal in here. Because we're not only walking the walk and doing the work as we, sit here and meditate, but we're shifting our perspective and taking in wisdom to apply to our life and apply to use with our abilities. But do what resonates for you, okay? It's okay to feel anger sometimes, okay? It's okay to feel sad or stressed about yourself, your life, or others. That's all right, it's human emotions, but it's important on how we express those and how we show up and how we show others compassion. You can't show up with compassion and worry. It's two different vibrations. Okay, that doesn't even make any sense. You can't show up and fight for peace when you hold anger in your heart. You can't show up and want to be peaceful in your life if you're an angry and sad person all the time and you haven't got that out of your body. And then you're just spewing it on everybody else, and then it's coming back towards you. So that's why in here we're controlling it. We understand energy. We understand what we're tuned into. We understand what we are broadcasting because we're intelligent. We're using our intelligence, and we're mastering our energy, but we're applying it, and we're walking the walk. We're not just yakking about it. A lot of people just talk. Even spiritual people. There's a lot of good spiritual people out there, but are they walking the walk? Just use discernment with them. Are they uplifting, or are they spreading two different things, two different vibrations? That's confusing. And there's no judgment. This stuff's all chaotic. It's crazy. And then you got to deal with your abilities. So we don't want to judge where everybody's at, because they're all learning too. They're all learning. And you don't want to judge yourself because you're learning too. That's when you lift into that unconditional love state and you give out love and light. And then that light reaches them and maybe uplifts them. And then they start tuning into higher frequencies, and they want to be better, and they want to show up better because they're absorbing your higher frequencies. You understand the ripple effect? Okay? And even if they don't, that's not your business. Your karma is your business. Their karma is theirs. You don't have to worry about anybody else's karma, what their role is, what they're doing, because if they do not get justice here, divine justice is on their life, okay? I'm just letting you know. Even for me, if I don't walk the walk, I get karma. I'm not just favored because I'm a healer. Or chosen ones, we're not favored because we're chosen, if you guys, believe in that, they still have to walk the walk. They still have to show up and be a good person. You could be born a good person, get so far in darkness, and you were supposed to be good, and you actually turned out bad because you got sucked into that energy. That's why it's so important that we are mindful and we're just checking how our insides are. Are we feeling calm and relaxed and light? Because we're in tune, okay? That means you're in alignment. That's all you got to check. But if you're feeling chaotic and heavy and all upset, you're out of tune. You're out of alignment. That's dark energy. And there's no judgment. Release it. Transmute it. Go run, walk, ride the bike, go to the gym, lift weights, yoga, meditate. I usually have to do a mix of exercise, meditation, like stretching or yoga, and then eating pretty decent. And sometimes I cheat too when I eat. I don't have to be perfect when I'm eating, but just eating and drinking water, eating good food and drinking water just helps you raise your vibration. It just helps keep you cleared out, okay? But it's important that we're aware of this because most of us, we're energy, we're absorbing energy. If I hung around someone that smoked cigarettes all the time, eventually I'm probably going to smoke cigarettes. That's how it was when I was younger. So I have to be very careful who I'm around. And that's why I teach you guys this, because it helps me stay in alignment, helps me stay in tune, and it helps me stay in my own rhythm. So as a writer, I can't read other people's books. I just can't read another book until I'm done writing because it'll mess with me. You know what I mean? So as an artist, or whatever you're doing in your life, it's okay to tune out whatever that is so that you can just stay in rhythm with yourself. So say you're a music artist, you don't want to listen to other people's music when you are in the middle of writing because it'll mess with your noise, you know what I mean? And as a spiritual leader, I can't surround myself with a lot of spiritual people because they have their own opinions, and I got to channel mine, and I know what's right and I know what the truth is, but I also have the experience as a healer. So sometimes when I'm off, I get checked. Spirit world checks me too. That's what karma's for. Or that's what I'll ask them, and I'll be like, hey, I think this is one thing, and spirit's like, no, it's another. That's not right. Well, I'm like all the other spiritual teachers, they're telling people that they can't drink caffeine, they can't drink coffee, it's really bad. Spirit told me that that's not true. You can drink. It depends on your body, okay? It depends on what resonates with you, or what resonates for you in your life and your body. But this, some people, it's actually a detox. It detoxes them, but they, just drink 1 cup a day. You don't need to overdo it. You'll feel if you're getting out of balance if you're overdoing something, but that doesn't mean you can't drink caffeine. It doesn't hurt you. I drink caffeine once a day, and I'm completely fine. My third eye's clear. I'm on point, okay? There are obstacles in my life that I'm trying to accomplish, but that's because I'm making big steps in my life. So, like right now, I'm working on my financial stability. So you guys might be working on your health or your financial stability, just depends, or your family life. But we always want to master ourselves because that just is a ripple effect to what we're doing, if that makes any sense. And it takes time, that's okay. All right? So as you're sitting there, just take a couple deep breaths. Just make sure you're in tune and tuned in to loving yourself. Just soaking in all this message and this wisdom, if it resonates for you. Always do what resonates for you. If I throw you off, that's okay, just click off. If anybody else does, or you're around anybody, it's okay just to stay with you, to go with what you feel is right, even if it's being alone. Okay? Just trust yourself. You have all that intelligence. You don't need everybody else. I know, some people try to go get messages, from tarot readers or psychics, or, to tell them whatever. You don't need to do that. You can do that by yourself if you tune in and meditate. And you don't want to mess with the future all the time. Most of the time. I wouldn't mess with the future. Why would you want to know what tomorrow's going to bring? It's too exciting. You got to stay in the present moment. Okay? Sometimes you can mess with the future a little bit and kind of predict. That's all right. But you don't want to focus on it. You don't want to focus on your past. We want to focus in that present moment. And that's what we're tuned into, conscious of, and using discernment of the energies around us and what our own energy is. But our first goal is our own energy, and then, others, okay? But it's all learning. You're all learning. Everything's teaching you. The bad, the good, everything's teaching you. Be grateful for it, because it upgrades you and it teaches you lessons. You can't learn lessons from good people all the time. You got to learn lessons from bad. It's just how it is, okay? We don't need to judge people or ourselves. We just need to show up better and just look at things in observation and be like, oh, well, I don't want to be like that person, okay? Or I probably shouldn't be around that person. They're not making me feel very good. I seen this one post online, this girl that, I know she has passion and love, or at least I think she does. She was talking about burning stuff down, and that's two different vibrations, and we just want to be careful. And I'm not making fun of her at all. I want to send her lots of love, but I can't be around that energy, okay? Because some of those energies, they're very sensitive to the light, and you'll just trigger them. So that's why you always want to use discernment, even teaching people wisdom or spreading the light, because the light triggers people. That's why, I probably trigger a lot of people, because I'm very high vibrational. I have a lot of energy, and sometimes I can see it in their face, and I don't mean to. It's just how I am. And I understand I can give people anxiety, and I have to use discernment about who I'm around too, okay? Because I know that I'm not necessarily helping, even when they're on a lower level than I am. And there's no judgment. We're all on different levels. You got to use discernment on what level you're on so you keep upgrading, right? Okay? So yeah, be careful about who you're around and your frequency and what light and wisdom that you're spreading to, because it is sensitive to people in the dark, okay? We send them lots of love, but we don't want to be burning things down. We don't want to be sending out anger and rage and sadness and worry and stress about how the world's going or how your life is going, because it's going just fine. Just keep showing up and controlling your energy and what you're tuned into, and take care of yourself. It's the most important thing, okay? It's all about self-love in 2026, okay? All right. I hope that message helped. Take a couple deep breaths. Just breathe in that white light, that source, God, however you want to view it. Okay, and then put it around you. So for protection and for your broadcast, you're broadcasting some strong, loving energy. And you can't see energy. That's why I do it, because it's there. I can see auras. Some people see auras. You might be able to too. But, a lot of people's are dark because their auras they're shut down. They're not connected. When their auras are connected, they're glowing. And when in my meditation class, you should be glowing after we get done. So go look. You should feel better and feel lighter. And you'll notice that hopefully you can see that your glow's back, but that's your aura, because we connected. And when you connect, your aura, your electromagnetic field, science version, it's going again. It's working. Okay, and that's when you feel really good. That's when you are beating any darkness, and I'm talking illness, sickness, or dark energy, okay? And then you're tuned in when you're doing it too, and you'll pull back and reset, okay? So it's all about mastering ourselves in the energy, okay? And that love vibration. All right, I'll see you next video. All light, love, and peace vibes.